Hello, my name is Mark Schleer. I'm the archivist at Lincoln University, and we'd like to welcome you to the special collections of the archives at Page Library in Lincoln University. What we have in our collection, since we are an HBCU, Historically Black College or University, what we have in our collection is mostly oriented towards the African American experience and African American history. However, we do have a lot of other works besides African American based literature. We also have pretty much a full run of topics that are covered by the Library of Congress classification system. Anything from European history, science, literature, all the way up through technology. We have it covered here. What we'll do, we'll have a run through of kind of what we'll show you what we have in our collection, and we'll start at the beginning here. I'm going to have my assistant, Miss Ithaca Bryant, help me display the books that we have here. And like I said, we've got books from A to Z basically. See the Harvard classics here. I think just about every library has this. This is a 1915 edition of that. We've got a lot of basic books that any library would have. Philosophy, we've got some books on the Middle Ages, just going around, and if you're familiar with the Library of Congress system, you'll see that we're pretty inclusive as far as this goes. But mainly, like I said, our collection contains a lot of information about African American history and the black experience. You can see over here, this book. This is the history of the Negro race, and this was put out in 1883, and this is one of the older books we have. And what's interesting about the history books on black Americans is that they run the gamut from being putting African Americans in a positive light, and there's also examples of them not so positive. And we have quite a bit of variety in our collection here regarding that. Follow me. We'll go on into the what we call the vault reading room, and we'll continue on. And as we said, the history of the American history section of this collection is probably the largest part. So we've got everything from, this is a first edition. It's been rebound, obviously, but this is a first edition of Frederick Douglass's autobiography. And we're very proud to have this in our collection. We've also got quite a few books on Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War, obviously. Here's one that's not so nice, and this is one that kind of shows the other end of the spectrum. This is by a Dutch doctor, and J.J. van Ebry, and this was written in 1861. And you'll see from the opening page here, it's not so complimentary. Negroes and Negro slavery, the first an inferior race, the latter its normal condition. That's as far as I got. I didn't want to read anything else after that. It just wasn't very complimentary, but you do want to know what's being said. This is probably our most famous book. This is the one we like to show to visitors when they come into the archives here at Page Library. And this is a book about Harriet Tubman. It's called Harriet, the Moses of Her People. And the special thing about this book was written in 1866. The special thing about this book is that Harriet Tubman made her mark on there, and that's really the most famous autograph, if you want to call it that, of what we have here in Page Library. And obviously she couldn't read or write, so she left her mark, the sign of the cross. And we do impress our visitors when they come in, and they like to see the Harriet Tubman book, which is very special to us. Usually when we get a feature done in either media, newspaper or television or magazines, this is what we feature, and we're very proud of it, as I said. Here at Lincoln University, we're very proud of our past, our heritage, our history, and a little background information. We were founded in 1866 by members of the 62nd and 65th Colored Infantries. One of the officers from the 62nd Colored Infantry, Richard Baxter Foster, wrote some letters to his wife because his men had asked him to head a school after the war was over for them, and also their former fellow slaves. And so Foster wrote some letters to his wife about becoming the principal of Lincoln Institute. And when he finally made his decision and she agreed, this is what he wrote: "I can do well in Missouri. I think I can see the day not very far off that we will live together in comfortable circumstances and look back on all our long, hard struggles as the freed slaves already look back on their former state of bondage. At the same time, I expect to continue in the work that I am now engaged in for the elevation of the downtrodden Negro as long as I live. The war is breaking up the ice, laying the foundations. All the work is to be done hereafter. I do not think I shall ever get out of that work." Lincoln continues to grow, and we're very happy, very proud of our past, and we've got a legacy of literature, if you want to call it that, here in our library, and come visit us. We'd like to see you.